sunshine, breezy, about 80 degrees, and a packed house here in Kansas. Let's check out the starting grid for today's race. Some Winston Cuppers sweeping the first couple of rows. Michael Waltrip, first pole of this season. He won at Michigan. There's Jeff Burton, 3 wins in 10 starts this year. He goes from the outside of the front row.
On the inside of row 2 is Todd Bodine. Last week, 43rd, his worst finish this year. And Jimmy Spencer will have to give it back because of his happy hour practice crash.
Jason Keller, second in the championship. 35 points behind Greg Biffle. He goes from row 3 with Jeff Green.
On the inside of row 5, Stacy Compton and Johnny Sauter. Great qualifying run. Best of their bestest rookie challengers.
Next driver in line, Shane Meal, also one of the rookie challengers. He's in row number 5 along with Ron Hornaday.
On the inside of row 6, Bobby Hamilton Jr. His crew chief told me this morning he's the car to beat today. Then the naming. First race in a while, back on the outside.
Joe Nemechek got his crew chief Brian Patty back with him this week. He's in row number 7.
And it's Jack Sprague on the outside of row 8. Guys rebounded great in the last 3 races.
Ashton Lewis, Randy LaJoy, row number 9. LaJoy, the 2-time Busch Series champ.
On the inside of row 10, Greg Biffle. On the outside, Kerry Earnhardt as Biffle tries to hold on to that lead.
Got to come from deep in traffic. Scott Riggs drives for the team that won the race a year ago. He's in row 11. There's Mike McLaughlin driving for Joe Gibbs and Jamie McMurray in row 12.
On the inside of row 13, Tony Raines. On the outside is last week's winner, Scott Wimmer. Let's try to talk to him. Scott Wimmer, Benny Parsons, you got me?
Out clear, Benny.
All right, buddy, how's the car?
He had you.
Scott, how's your race car?
Not too bad, Benny. New England Finance, a Pontiac's pretty good. Didn't qualify quite where we wanted to, but it's a long race, and hopefully you work our way up to the front.
What's up with this qualifying, Scott?
I don't know. We were talking about that the last couple weeks. We just can't get the hang of it, but we're to work hard over the winter to hopefully cure and start qualifying up front a little better.
Well, let's see 2 in a row, okay?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it's great to see he's got a sponsor on the side of that car this week. I talked to those folks down, and that might be something for next year.
They're working on it. And Scott Wimmer will be a threat for the Busch Series Championship 2003, so hopefully Bill Davis can find some backing for that team. Unable to qualify for today's race. Some pretty famous names in there. Wallace and Marlin.
It's too bad for Mike Wallace. Those guys have been to a lot of races this year. Storylines for today, it is a very tough racetrack. They asked me about caution flags. I picked the over-under at 6. What do you think, Wally?
I think we're going to go over.
Alan?
I'll take the under. Last year there were 5.
Okay. Get in the groove. Can we get this groove widened out just a little bit? What do you think, Wally?
I think we can. I think it's going to take a while, but I think the groove will work up the racetrack a little bit.
Let's hope so. And this championship battle. Last week, Keller half the distance between Biffle and himself. Can he do the same this week?
Keller starting 5th, Biffle starting 19th. Traffic, if there is an incident in the opening laps, favors Keller far more than it does Biffle. Getting set to go. Michael Waltrip, winner at Michigan. A track somewhat similar to this, moderate banking, big and fast.
And I talked to the driver this morning and asked if they drove this racetrack like they did Chicago. And the answer was nothing like Chicago, which surprised me because they do look very similar.
There's Keller as he gets set to go. Jeff Burton, been so strong in almost every one of these Busch Series races he's been in this season. 200 laps to make up the 300-mile distance today. $1,230,000 on the line. And it's time for the second NASCAR Busch Series race at Kansas. The Mr. Good Sense 300. Waltrip and Burton bring the field down for the start.
Jeff wanted down on the bottom. He's almost there. Really bad.
Christian Fittipaldi's about to get a NASCAR rules lesson.
He passed on the left
Before he crossed the start-finish line. He's going to get the black flag. I've done that.
Johnny Sauter, that blue car up on the high side, is able to make it through 3 and 4 at a pretty competitive speed.
Jason Keller underneath Jeff Green for a spot. He'll be 4th place. Up front, it's Michael Waltrip, Todd Bodine, and Jeff Burton, the first 3.
Sauter still up there on the high side.
And for the lead, here comes Todd Bodine in the 92. Big, important race for this team. The team owned by the Herzog, based in St. Joseph, Missouri. I guess Michael Waltrip decided to use a little air there on Bodine.
Yep, looked like he drove right up behind him trying to get him.
Oh, Fittipaldi.
Oh, another car is spinning up in the middle of the corner, but some heavy damage to Christian Fittipaldi's car.
And one spinning in number one, Jeff Green. In the slowdown after the caution flag, looks like got bumped.
That'd be Hendrick.
3 at once. 7-7, that's Eric Jones in his 5th career Busch Series start. And Waltrip and Bodine coming back around to the caution flag.
Well, Christian Fittipaldi's not going to get too much experience today in his 30 car. I don't know if they can get this car fixed to get back on the racetrack.
Told these guys there wasn't a second groove just yet, Benny.
Well, I know. Did you tell him that?
I did.
Christian Fittipaldi, black car, yellow trim.
He just got up there in the gray area, and you can actually see a little bit of dirt flying off the right rear tire when he gets up there. It's very slick up there.
And on board Kenny Wallace, second car. That's Fittipaldi. He gets in and just in that gray area, and there's no grip, very little grip, I'll put it that way, and around he goes.
Now, here's the other end of the racetrack, just past the start-finish line.
Looked like Jeff Green got a little bit of help there from Bobby Hamilton Jr.
1, 2, 2.5. And he didn't hit anything. That's pretty lucky.
Was lucky. He had to come in and change 4 tires because he put ball spots on them.
And the third driver involved in the incident. That's Eric Jones.
Not sure what happened on that one.
He just got down on the apron when he went low around the wreck and lost control of the car there. So, let's see. Jeff Green has made a pit stop. Ron Young has been in. Joe Buford has stopped. Hank Parker Jr. Bobby Hamilton Jr. Now we're set to go back racing with Todd Bodine leading Michael Waltrip. Jeff Burton lost a number of spots in those first couple of laps. You see him back there racing Lyndon Amick for 6th and 7th. Remember, he started on the outside of the front row in that green 9 car.
This is his first start since Richmond in May in the NASCAR Busch Series. This is a car fielded by the same folks that have Jason Keller's car and Scott Rick's car.
Okay, so having seen Fittipaldi spin basically by himself using that outside lane in 3, you think all these spotters up here on the roof that communicate with the drivers have relayed that information to the cockpit?
I don't think they need to. I think the guys that have run this series long enough know that it's slippery up there and not to get up there.
Here's Burton by Amick. That'll be 6th place.
And Lyndon Amick, that white card, quickly backs off, lets Burton go, and drives to the inside. And Burton must have gotten the corner too deep because here comes Amick back by, trying to get back by, and does.
And up ahead, Shane Meal in the 47, sliding in front of Ron Hornaday in the 26. That was for 4th place. Police change.
Mikey, 99, trying to go back in front. Here comes Jason Keller. Well, you know, Keller wants to get in front of Michael Waltrip. Will lead a lap this race, get those 5 bonus points.
Greg Biffle is back in 17th right now. Jason Keller is 2nd. Still very early. There's Biffle, still hung up in that traffic. And on a track like this where the racing groove is so narrow in the first part of this race, he's going to have a hard time picking his way to the front.
Yeah, we've been watching him. It looks like he's got a good race car, but he can't get anywhere. Trying to make these guys ahead of him a little bit loose to kind of shove them out of the groove a little bit. But I think it's going to take a little time to get these tires wore down before he can do any more of that.
Michael Waltrip is out in front of the pack now, leading by 1.5 seconds. on Jason Keller. Here's a change for the 11th spot. Scott Riggs in the 10 moving up. In the garage, Mike Harmon, Chad Chaffin, Christian Fittipaldi, and now Ricky Hendricks behind the wall. Matt?
The 5 team tried to repair the car on pit road. Now Ricky is pulled behind the wall. What all the heck going to have to do to the car, Ricky?
Well, the car wasn't doing so bad at the beginning. Everybody was checking up a lot. We were just kind of biding our time, and I guess Spencer was behind me and kind of just took the air right off of me. I don't know. I got to see the replay, but all of a sudden before I knew it.
Trouble in turn 4. Ron Young in the 63 got bumped from behind and spun into the outside wall. Steve Grissom went around in the 34 car.
And we can see where Grissom has driven up under the back of someone. That's Jimmy Spencer's car. Sponsored by the Air Force. Mr. Grissom.
And the 49 car of Joe Buford also took to the grass, but he's continued on. And it's catching back up with the pack. There's Ron Young in the 63 car.
And could it be the left rear tire was the problem there? I don't know. It certainly is off rim.
Conyers, Georgia driver, second start for this team, scheduled to finish out the year in this car.
Looks like there's a lot of damage to the wheel, though.
Yeah,
That
see the
probably happened
damage
afterwards.
right there.
All right, what happened?
Looks like somebody got underneath somebody and got into the left rear quarter panel.
It's Casey Kane in the 98 car, and Grissom runs in the back of Casey Kane. And Larry Fort. And Joe Buford just barely misses Steve Grissom. That caused him to spin as he goes down through the grass.
So, yeah, right here. Casey got in the back of Ron. And they stacked them up. So that's 3.
That's 3.
Here,
31 laps. You're looking good, VP. And here come the leaders to pit road. First set of stops on the day. Matt, you're first.
And the 87 car, Joe Nemechek, making his way to his pit stall. The biggest part of this pit stop will be the tape that they will pull off the front. Joe said the water temperature climbed to 235 to 240. The car's a little tight. No adjustments, Marty.
Jason Keller's a little tight behind Michael Waltrip when he's out on the track. They made a wedge adjustment half round. In front of him, Shane Mill will take 2 tires, a little bit tight. He says, I'm not pushing it at all. Dave?
Trouble for Michael Waltrip on the jack. He was only going to take 2 tires. The car was a little bit tight. He said, let's just change 2 tires and try that. But they had trouble on the right side. They were changing and had difficulty, and Michael loses a lot of track position.
So the jack was hung under the 99 car. I guess he tried to drive off, and someone has a tire rolling across pit road, and somebody makes it.
hey, Matt, I'm surprised they didn't make a change to Joe Nemechek's car. If the car was tight and they took tape off the front and they didn't make an adjustment, I don't know how that's going to make it any better.
Well, Wally, he said it was much tighter at the beginning of the run, and it didn't get as bad near the end of that run before they pitted, but their bigger concern was that water temperature.
Okay.
So Michael Waltrip goes from the lead to 7th on the exchange of pit stops. Set to go back racing here at the Kansas Speedway in the Mr. Good Sense 300.
Green flag. Come on down. Nice and smooth.
What was that? Oh, slow restart.
And Hornaday picked up about 5 spots right there. Stay on your toes, Ron.
Mr. Restart.
Shane Meal, the leader of this, is not accustomed to leading these NASCAR Series races. Not accustomed to restarts, and brought them down very, very slow, which allowed Hornaday to get that running start on the outside.
All right, 2 tires on the 47 car. Got Shane Meal the lead. Stacy Compton got 2 tires. He took 2nd. Scott Riggs in the 10. Got fuel only to get up to 3rd. Jeff Green also took fuel only. Oh, look out. Jack Sprague.
Oh, there's a question.
And Biffle was right behind it and got through.
Oh, no, different.
Well, I wonder what he thinks. I wonder what he thinks happened.
That was, I think, Jason Sprague, Jack's brother, his spotter.
I don't know about that particular view. Here they come back to the caution flag. BP, you're over.
We're gaining on it.
We're gaining on it.
Is looking real good.
No, I said over-under was 6. I thought there'd be about 6. Wally's the guy that said over. And you're the guy that said under. You're not looking too good.
I'm in trouble. Well, there were only 5 cautions in this whole race last year. We've had 4 now, and we're only at lap 37. Go figure.
Big trouble.
Yeah, well, I was in trouble with Marty already. All right, Todd Bodine, problems there.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. It starts way over here. Sprague was down below the white line. They kind of moved up on each other. They went down. I don't know how Bodine wrecked them. You're running there side by side. It looks like Sprague lost the air off the spoiler, got loose, and actually wrecked into Todd.
And that was...
What do you think, Benny?
Well, I think you're exactly right. He just got air off the spoiler. He didn't have that air to lean against, and around he went. Talking about the 24-car Sprague, and that's Jason Pash, his brother. Boy, they were glued right together. Obviously, Todd Bodine is trying to stay as low as he possibly can because he knows if he gets too wide here, he's in trouble.
And when you get that close, when you get right rear to left rear like that, your car is going to get loose, especially if your guy on the bottom. Just no air on your spoiler.
That's what happens. Gets ugly fast. Jason Keller with a big jump on the restart to the outside.
He said, I saw Hornaday do that the last time. Let me try.
And
Focus over him.
No, and here comes Mikey Waltrip going to venture up into that higher lane. How about it, Mikey? You going to make it stick? Just like it.
But can he be in position when he gets to turn 3? Is Jason going to let him go? Yep.
So, Michael Waltrip making up some of the ground lost on... Whoa!
Yeah, not so fast.
Hang on.
Sometimes you can't get it back down to the bottom when you get in there on the high line.
Yo. Okay, what we found out there is that 99 car's got its engine.
It's got the motor in it.
Careful, Mikey. Careful. That's Never Never Land up there.
He lost some momentum there.
Yes, he did.
So Keller 4th, Waltrip 5th, Hornaday's right behind him in 6th. Jeff Green 7th and Jeff Burton 8th, 21 and 9 you're looking at there. Scott Riggs in the 10. Using a little bit of that flat part of the racetrack. Now next week at Talladega you do that, you go below that line on the bottom, you're going to be penalized for being out of bounds.
And some fans don't understand that. Why at all racetracks the line isn't out of bounds, but at this racetrack you're not going to upset or get into the other car like you would at Talladega.
Riggs to 2nd, Compton back to 3rd. Jason Keller got shuffled to 7th. There's Greg Biffle in the 60. He's in 10th now, so only a couple of positions between the top 2 in the championship.
And here comes Biffle on the inside of Stacy Compton. Battle for the lead. Scott Riggs, the 10 car, goes under Shane Neal. Michael Waltrip's going to take a look.
Remember that the 10 car took no tires on that last pit stop. Michael Waltrip and the 47 car, Shane Neal, took just 2. Scott Riggs picked up a couple of wins in the early part of the season. Nashville and California. But then really struggled in July and August. Only 2 top 10 finishes.
Got a car to wall.
That's Wimmer. Or just brushed the wall. Anyway, checking out the numbers here. In the last 11 races, only 2 top 10 finishes. 3 in the last 13. It's been a tough summer for Scott Riggs.
He was struggling as the graphic points out.
Talking to his crew chief Harold Holley this morning, he said, that's all right. This is a good race team. We haven't forgotten how to win. The kid's got his confidence still. He's a good race driver. And we won this race a year ago with Jeff Green. Okay, let's show the people why you and I were going, ooh.
Okay. Right here, I was watching Jimmy Spencer. He's been coming up through the field great. Got in the back of Walkman a little bit. 23 had to check up. When he checked up, slid up the racetrack.
And he turned it right to avoid Jimmy Spencer. Watch as Spencer has to back off the throttle. Wimmer has to back off. And he turns to the right to avoid Spencer. And he's coming off the corner. He just basically just drove it up in the wall. I don't think he hit it too hard, but let's see. Oh, he did hit it pretty hard,
Pretty hard, yeah. Right rear hit pretty hard.
Wimmer's fallen back to 21st place now.
Jeff Burton goes by the 47 car Meal to move into third.
Marty Wimmer's just gained back a couple of those spots he just lost. He's back up to 20th now.
Yeah, and their thought was it might have been contact with Lyndon Amick that put them into the wall. That's what they were saying anyway, but it does not appear to have any tire damage or any tire rub in the fenders rubbing the tires. It's been a rough week for Scott, having won a race at Dover. He's been sick all week with a flu, and today is kind of the worst day of it, so he's not having a very good time out there. He had to turn on the AC in the car very early on, so he's having a rough day after hitting the wall and having the flu and all of those problems.
Jason Keller trying to pick up a spot to 4th. Working on Shane Meal. Keller in the 57, Meal in the 47.
Looks like it's going to be just a matter of about a straightaway. So Keller will have that position.
Marty?
Well, second straight win for Scott Wimmer. He is down on 7 cylinders. He changed ignition boxes. They're going to ride it out as long as they can. Nothing has worked. They are indeed on 7 cylinders in the 23 car. Dave?
Marty involved in an early caution. Ron Hornaday pitted on lap 15. He's been out of tires for a number of laps, and that's why he was going backwards, in addition to some aero issues with the front of the car. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment now to fix a little bit of a tight condition for Ron. Marty?
Shane Mill comes down pit road. The car is very tight at the 2-tire stop. He creeps down pit road into the 9th position. He hung on to it as long as he could. They will make a chassis adjustment. It will be an air pressure adjustment, a pound out of the right front tire for Shane Mill. The car got too tight at the end of that run.
Oh, the leader gets taken up the racetrack in some lap traffic. Jeff Burton goes by Scott Riggs.
Riggs trying to put a lap on the 27th. James McMarion. You're right. He goes up the racetrack, gets on the outside, and Jeff Burton dives to the inside, takes the lead.
First time today, Jeff Burton has led just now when he could cross the stripe. More pit stops, Matt.
And Alan, they dropped the jack in the 87 car, Joe Nemechek. The only adjustment for Joe, an air pressure adjustment, because remember, we told you earlier, he was a little bit tight when he got in traffic.
Stacy Compton, Randy LaJoy also on and now off the pit road. Dave?
Compton got that wedge adjustment, Alan. He needed slow on the left front. Lug nuts coming off. The tire changer has to put him back on manually, and now Stacy leaves.
Here we go. Both leaders coming down pit road. Jeff Burton, Scott Riggs follows. It's all up to the pit crews. Who will get him out first? Marty, coming to you first.
Well, Scott Riggs hit all at once. 4 tires, leave the chassis alone. He may have lost the lead on the racetrack, but he's very confident about this chassis. So it'll be 4 tires and fuel only for Scott Riggs. Dave?
Jeff Burton is in now. They will go for 4 tires as well. He needs them. Jeff also complaining about a little bit tight in the center of the corner. They make an air pressure adjustment to accommodate that. The 2 left side tires are on for Burton. He leaves pit road, and he will beat the 10 car of Scott Riggs off pit road.
That's a tough way to pit a car there, DP.
Tough way to pit a car.
Unorthodox.
Sideways.
Parking, yeah. But he was within the box.
But that probably cost him on the pit stop, because the pit crew has to adjust when you come in that way and threw him off a little bit. I tell you, Jeff Burton's crew did a good job on their pit stop.
Michael Waltrip had taken over the lead when Burton and Riggs pitted. Now here comes Mike off the track. Jason Keller right behind him.
It's too bad that Jason Keller couldn't run another lap and get to 5 bonus points.
Yeah, must have been at the end of his fuel limit, though, because he came in.
Biffle will lead the lap.
Yep, Biffle's going to go to the front, and he's going to get bonus points here. Marty?
Yeah, I think they wanted to take a chance at one more lap, but Steve Addington told me this morning we need to get a really good fuel gauge as to how far we can go on that first long fuel run. It is tight for Jason Keller right now. They do make a wedge adjustment. 4 tires, and oh, the car falls off the jack before it was supposed to. Long time on the left rear. The left side tires were not on, and the jack fell. Dave?
Michael Waltrip took on 2 tires last time. This time, 4 tires. The adjustment they choose to loosen the car up, a wedge adjustment for the 99.
Now here comes the Biffle to you, Dave.
Yep, coming in now. Remember, he said his car was very, very good, although a little bit tight in the middle, a little bit loose everywhere else. I'm sorry, a little bit loose getting in, a little bit tight everywhere else. So Drew is going to go and give him more tires. They were talking about putting a rubber in the left rear to tighten it up. But I don't think they're going to take the time during green flag pit stops. That's a lengthy adjustment. We'll see what happens now as they go to the left side, put the tires on, and then send people back out, points leader back on the track. Matt?
And that 33 car, Tony Ray, is in. Remember we told you earlier the vibration? Well, they haven't seen it since, and the car has been very good. No adjustments. Stop, none on the last stop. Just 4 tires and fuel. Looking for his first win. Make it the 6th first-time winner in 2002. And service complete on the 33.
They look like they're putting scuff tires on.
Yeah, they are. I'm sure that because these drivers tell me that the first 3 or 4 laps on 6 tires are really a handful.
And on Jason Keller's pit stop, it looked like when they took the left front wheel off, they threw it over and it hit the jack, and that's what knocked the car off the jack.
That's exactly what happened, Wally. Here it is.
Here you go. You watch when he pulls the left front wheel off, throws it over, hits the jack, and the jack falls down. So maybe it twisted the handle.
Just a little bit. That's how you let the car down. I twisted that handle. When the tire hit it, it somehow twisted, and down it went. And it cost him probably 300 or 400 yards of position on the racetrack.
Yeah. Scott Riggs in the 10 car is being called back to pit road.
Oh, really?
They had a right side tire violation. The rule is that the tires that you take off the right side of the car have to be on the inner half of the pit box.
They say it's a mistake, but they don't throw the flag at you. You just keep digging.
And Harold said, just keep going.
Well,
Explain that now, Alan.
if you take and you look at the pit box, the right side tires have to be on the inside half of the box when the car leaves. You can't leave a tire out there.
Oh, okay.
They have a tire out there, and I believe they're arguing that perhaps that tire got hit by another car, which is what put it out there. But NASCAR says they disagree with that, and they're calling him in. And they've been calling him in for about 4 laps.
What the hell are they bringing us in for, Charles?
And if he doesn't pit next time, his car's going to be stopped from being scored. So, there you go.
Well, here he comes.
Oh, that just kills those guys.
That's too bad. Now, don't speed. Don't compound your problems.
Then you know they're watching.
This is just real frustrating.
Harold Hawley, the crew chief, not happy.
No, he's not. That's such a good race car. Marty?
Well, as you can imagine, a very animated conversation between Harold Hawley and the NASCAR officials. He showed them the videotape, which showed the tire getting away, and what the proof they thought they needed to not get the penalty, but that was not enough, and Harold is extremely upset. There were 3 NASCAR officials down here trying to justify the penalty, and the conversation continues as Harold walks to the back of the pit box now trying to cool off a little bit. Disappointing for these guys. They had a car that clearly could have won the race, and now it's going to be very difficult to do that.
All right, let's see. There's the tire.
There it goes.
Let me see it. And there's not another car involved.
Oh, there it is. See,
Yeah.
when the car left the pit box, one of the tires got away.
Another tire. Man.
So it was the second of the 2 tires. They got the first one before the car left, but then the other one rolled away.
That's the right call.
So let's see where that leaves Scott Riggs. A lap down in 20th place. And there's still discussing it. Well, Bergdorf there, one of the tire changes. Obviously, he's not happy also. And now Harold Hawley, the crew chief, is going to step in. It looks like a football coach on the sideline. You know, if I was going to be a football referee, the one job I wouldn't want would be that side judge who has to stand in front of the bench.
If there was dirt, he could be picking dirt on those guys.
All right, the cycle of stops will be completed once Jamie McMurray stops. He's now the leader. Then Jeff Burton will go out next. And here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr., Dave.
His car is tight, Alan. Remember, he got in 2 different wrecks early on, hurt the left side. Then coming to a caution, he put a hole in the right front. They have maintained their composure. They're putting some wedge in the car now to correct the tight condition for Bobby.
And away he goes. So the race lead now is back in the hands of Jeff Burton. Burton leads. For now, Murray is still second. He hasn't stopped yet. Burton just passed him on the racetrack. Then it'll go to Michael Waltrip, who will be second. Jason Keller will come out third. Jeff Green fourth. Greg Biffle fifth. So there's a car between Keller and Biffle now. Then you're going to have Joe Nemechek, Tony Raines, Lyndon Amick, Shane Meal, and Jimmy Spencer will fill out the top 10 once Jamie Murray stops. Leaders today, Scott Riggs led 52 laps, Michael Waltrip 27, Shane Meal 16, Jeff Burton now out in front for 16 laps. And those are the drivers who've spent most of the time pacing this 300-mile race. Check the storylines that we've been following throughout the day for you as well.
We talked about caution flags, and I had the over-under at 6. So far, it's under, and thank goodness for that. I hope it continues. Get in the groove. Will the track go wider? Michael Waltrip, Wally, is trying to make it go wider.
Yeah, he needs that upper groove for tomorrow, so he's doing his best to make it wider. And I think it is. It has gotten wider.
And Keller and Biffle run back-to-back on the racetrack in third and fourth places, and there's a car on the wall. Caution's out. Joe Buford in the 49.
Boy, that's what Jimmy McMurray did not want to see, because most of the cars, I think, can make it from here the rest of the way.
Antioch, Tennessee driver Joe Buford, longtime championship contender at the Nashville Speedway.
Now here comes Hornaday trying to get his lap back, and Riggs, but Hornaday may get it.
Will Riggs? No.
And I don't believe Mark Green made it, though they're going to check the photo finish camera, see if he got his lap back or not. All right, so 70 laps to go. You think we'll see everybody come in and top off the fuel here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they just positively cannot make it.
Yeah, if you can make it, you've got to come in.
Yeah.
That was the winning strategy last year. We had a caution at the same time in last year's race. Jeff Green took fuel. Then when there was a caution with about 29 laps to go, some of the other front runners at the time, like Jason Keller last year, pitted, and Green stayed out, got the track position, and won the race.
Well, we saw Scott Riggs tell everybody that tires can go a long ways here, so I think they'll just come in for fuel.
Let's see if we can see what that might have happened to Joe Buford. There he is on the bottom, and
they had a tire going down or something, no?
He got his angle wrong going in the corner. He moved over so low to let Jason Keller go by, he couldn't make it the corner. He had to make such an awkward turn into the corner. Plus, the apron didn't help him at all.
Yeah, the apron didn't help.
And if you watch Biffle, right behind another one, scooted through on the bottom. That's 2 today.
All right, here they come. Looks like all the cars on the lead lap.
And Benny, the strategy for the 87 is simple. They're going to take on 2 tires, and Kevin Grubb, the gas man, not the driver, is going to put 1 can in. They're going to make a track bar adjustment. To Marty.
Third place, Jason Keller debated on no tires. They decided to go with a 4-tire stop for Jason Keller. The car was a little tight. They took out 1 round of wedge. Dave.
Jeff Burton's 11th NASCAR Busch Series race of the year has been a good one. The car still a little tight in the middle. A round of wedge out of the left rear. A pound of air in the left front. Burton slides getting out. He's going to get beat off pit road.
Jason Keller had a good pit stop.
These cars trying to get lined up for a restart.
And there's some confusion.
Some confusion, as always.
How about this? Season high number of different race leaders in today's race. 13 different guys out front. Previous high was 11 at Las Vegas back in March. Okay, guys who did not take tires, or only got 2. Nemechek got 2. He leads. Jeff Green got 2. He's second. Kerry Earnhardt, fuel only. He's third. Michael Waltrip is in fourth. He's the first one of the 4 tire guys, followed by Jason Keller. Jeff Burton, the previous leaders, back in 6th. Then Tony Raines, Casey Mears, Stacy Compton, and Shane Meal. Greg Biffle lines up 11.
Yeah, McMurray did do when I was talking to you under the caution there. I believe he stayed out. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. Am I right?
McMurray?
Yeah.
Yep. You would be correct.
He's the first car out there right now. So.
Wondering why someone wouldn't have done that. Now he needs a caution to come back around through the field. I mentioned that Scott Riggs, we've been documenting some of his issues, made several pit stops under the caution. Team thinks they have a spark plug going bad, so he's lost quite a bit of track position. He's back in 30th place. Jamie McMurray's got problems. Jumping the restart. Black flag.
That's almost funny.
I hope we can show that again. I'd like to see that myself.
Oh, Raines. Tony Raines gets loose and moves up the racetrack. Here's Jeff Burt trying to work his way through traffic.
They waived off the penalty on Kerry Earnhardt. They decided upon further review he did not jump the restart.
Well, he just goes to second spot. Does Kerry Earnhardt.
I guess because he dropped back in line behind Nemechek that he jumped alongside.
I don't think that's...
That's the word I'm getting from the control tower.
That if you give back, they don't...
Here comes Kerry Earnhardt for the lead. All right, look at this 12 car. He's going somewhere, Wally.
He's strong.
And here comes Jeff Burton. He's on the inside of Jeff Green. Take a spot away. Trying to go by Jason Keller.
Yep.
And they're 3 wide. And here goes Biffle by Keller. Man.
Burton inside of Jeff Green. And the new leader is Kerry Earnhardt.
And Jason Keller's off the pace. The 57 car is slow. Did he make contact down the corner with someone that get a flat tire? Didn't sound dead, Wally?
I can't tell.
Yeah,
There's smoke coming out of the
pipe. Out of the exhaust pipe.
Man.
Just like that, it changes.
Second place in the Busch Series Championship, and it's going to go up in smoke. And speaking of second place, Jeff Burton got that 9 car rolling.
And that's bad news for Kerry Earnhardt because the 9 car might be very, very good now. Man, what's Mikey have to say about the crash?
Well, he was just talking to his car owner, wife Buffy. What happened, Michael?
Either I spun out or I had a flat. It was flat when I checked it on the track, and it just all of a sudden turned around getting into 3. I've been real good. When I came off 2, I noticed I got a little loose, but on new tires you're loose sometimes, so I didn't think anything about it, and I got to 3 and spun out. So I don't know if I ran over something or what, but the right rear was soft. Maybe that was what caused it. I'm not sure, but what a great car we had. I thought we could win, and had that problem there.
Well, his little daughter Macy turns 5 tomorrow. He's got to wait until tomorrow to give her that 5th birthday present, Benny.
Yeah, have to win the NASCAR Winston Cup race tomorrow.
Kerry Earnhardt in the 12, leading the first laps he's ever led in the NASCAR Busch Series in his 38th start. He took the green flag today in 20th place. But he's got that green car gaining on him quickly.
He's going to have to try to get around Randy as fast as he can, because you're right, Jeff Burton is about the same, but lap before he was about 0.2 of a second quicker than Kerry Earnhardt.
Best finish so far this season for Kerry in a Busch Series race. 7th place at Kentucky in June.
Marty, oh, the 57 looks like he's blowing up, Marty.
Well, that's what they were going to run it as long as it could go, and it looked like it just went, BP, and he coasted down the front stretch. He was on 7 cylinders. They initially thought it might be in the ignition box, but indeed it was an internal problem, and now it's gone all the way. So this is heartbreak for these guys because it looked like this was going to be a day where they could gain points for the 2nd week in a row, but that's not going to be the case. They're going to lose a bunch.
He could finish as far back as 34th or 35th today. Greg Biffle runs 4th. What about the 60, Dave?
Latest update on the 60 car, still a little bit loose, but as we know, loose can be fast.
Because it is going to tighten up the farther they go. Normally these cars, as you burn off fuel and you lose some of that weight in the back, they will start picking up a little push.
What do you think, Bill? thinking right there when he goes around Jason Keller's car on the apron in turn 4.
Oh, he's definitely smiling. Lots of free points right there.
Trying to race Joe Nemechek for 3rd position. While up front, still Jeff Burton trying to close on Kerry Earnhardt. Boy, this thing got intense all in a hurry, didn't it?
And I tell you what, right now, as he turns left to go in the garage area, it's like someone sticking a dagger in his heart, knowing that his best chance for a NASCAR Busch Series championship just turned left in the garage. Now, Jeff Burton tried this high line before to try to get some momentum off these corners and get some downforce on the front. He's going to try it again. Oh, he's got Earnhardt up the hill now.
He ran him in pretty deep that time.
Enough to get alongside. Here he comes, Jeff Burton for the lead. 28 laps to go. Jack Roush looking on as his driver goes back to the point. His other driver, if you will, Greg Biffle, looking to have a big day in the championship. What was it? Back at lap, find my notes, lap 131, that Biffle stalled leading the pits. We thought he was the one that was going to have a bad day.
I thought he broke an axle or something. Dave?
You know, a couple laps ago, Jeff Burton's crew radioed him and said, concentrate, concentrate. It's amazing what a little concentration will do. Got him the lead.
Tell you what, the 9 car is a very good race car because he's been able to move up the racetrack and use a higher line when he had to pass cars.
There's Jeff's wife, Kim, looking on. Constant presence in his pit box at the races. And she's not just sitting watching. She's charting every lap he runs. Lap time, speeds. They take that information, go back and compare it with their tires and their pit stops and look it all over. And as far as passing and track position and that kind of thing, the guy that's out front now took 4 tires on that stop and passed some of the guys that only took 2. He had a better car than they did before the stops, so did we learn anything from all that strategy?
I don't think so, because again, I think his car is so much superior. The only car that in a race that could really run with Jeff Burton was Michael Waltrip, and he had the flat tire and backed it in the fence. So
yeah, and we learned from Michael, don't cut a tire down. It's big.
When you have a car as good as Jeff Burton, and you can change 4 tires and fall back in the practice setup to race.
4 laps to go for Burton. 3.2 seconds in front of Kerry Earnhardt. What a great job Kerry has done today. If he can hang on behind Burton and come up with a 2nd place finish. For Burton now, it's just a matter of running out the laps. 3 to go.
But it's a race car, and you never know what's going to happen to these things.
Championship today going to be the big headline. When this one's over, it'll say Burton wins, but Keller falls out. He's going to finish in 30th place, and Greg Biffle is going to gain a bunch. Running in 4th right now. Doesn't look like a threat to overtake Joe Nemechek for 3rd, nor does it appear under pressure from Tony Race to lose that spot. So if he can finish these final couple of laps, the lead's going to go from 35 to 127. And there'll be 6 races to go in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. Lap and a half for Jeff Burton.
Single car right in front of him, but Kim will mark down the last lap. But he has such a lead on Kerry Earnhardt that those cars, he could almost stop if something happens.
78,000 here beginning to stand for the final lap salute to Jeff Burton. White flag is up. Brad Parrott, the crew chief, saying one more time. Jeff Burton started today's race on the outside of the front row. He'll have led 48 of today's 200 laps. Pick up his 19th career NASCAR Busch Series victory and his 4th of 2002.
Looks like last week's winner, Scott Wimmer, right in front of Burton.
Good day for Roush Racing. They're going to get the win and a big gain in the championship. Jeff Burton takes the Mr. Good Sets 300 at Kansas. It's second running to the Winston Cup star. Kerry Earnhardt's career best ever Busch Series finish for second. And Greg Biffle comes home in fourth, while Jason Keller will finish in 30th spot. Here are the results from today's race.
See 10 cars. Jimmy McMurray, Linda Namick. Impressive run by both those drivers.
Some guys in there that came back from some troubles too. Biffle, Spencer, Jeff Green. Remember, Jeff got spun out the first couple laps of the race.
15 cars finish on the lead lap. Johnny Sauter, the last one of those. Shane Meal finishes 14th.
Scott Riggs, the penalty, and the problems with the spark plug that put him a lap down. Ended up 23rd today. He led the most laps, 52 out of the 200.
Michael Waltrip, 33rd today after such a great run.
13 cars failed to finish today. Kerry Earnhardt, career best Busch Series result, Matt.
Well, you would have thought Kerry Earnhardt won the race. Tim Fido, while your coach came by, everybody coming in, hugs and kisses. It has been a struggle, but it's just a sign of things to come, Kerry.
Yeah, I hope so. Man, it's a shame 9 car had to be in this race because he's the only one we had to contend with. We had a strong car. Happy hour yesterday, guys on the Supercuts team done an awesome job all weekend. Eddie and Bob and Tito and Brad, all the guys on this team.
And you were lobbying that 9 car. Hey, he's won some races. If you get a chance, you wouldn't mind winning one yourself.
Yeah, I try to get him out there. If I get close enough, maybe. You know, keep in mind I might bump him a little bit, but we didn't have nothing for him. He was strong, class act all day. Awesome car. But, the number 12 Chevrolet Supercut Chevrolet Monte Carlo was a great day. It felt good to be able to run the whole race and not get wrecked or end up wrecking somebody. Thank y'all. I wanted it though. Thank you.
And Brad Parrott even coming down and congratulating Kerry Earnhardt. Dave comes home a career best second.
And Jeff Burton climbing out in victory lane. The crew made it down here. And, oh my goodness. I'm not sure what we've been shot with down here, but it's a celebration as Jeff wins his 4th Busch Series race of the year in 11 tries. You know, that's a pretty good average in any sport, but really good in NASCAR.
Yeah, it's an awesome team. These guys, they just do an incredible job. I'm so proud of them. They work so hard. They have fun doing it. You know, it's a lot of fun to be around them. They come to the racetrack, have fun. They're at the shop having fun. It's just a good group of guys.
How about Brad Parrott working with you to make the call to put on 4 and not worry about going 2 and getting track position?
Brad Parrott makes the calls. It's his deal. He makes the calls. I trust him 100%. We put on 4. That was definitely the right thing to do, and he's done a great job. He's shown everybody how capable he is, and had a lot of fun working with his dad, and I'm having a lot of fun working with him.
You're going to race tomorrow as well, Jeff. What did you learn today that will apply for tomorrow?
Fastest car wins. That's what we got to have. Fastest car.
Oh, come on. Little things about the car that you might have learned?
Fastest car wins. That's the way it works.
All right. He was the fastest here today in his 230th start here in the Busch Series, guys.
Jeff Burton celebrating, and Greg Biffle's got reason to celebrate today, too. His advantage in the Busch Series Championship from 35 to 127 points with 6 races to go. Marty?
And he has a smile because he finished 4th. Big day in the points for you. Were you aware of Jason Keller's problems?
Not really. It looked like Burton and I were gaining on him there, and then something must have happened to him, to his engine, mechanical, whatever it did. Looked like he got a flat tire or anything, so, you know, it was just a good day for the Ranger car. I mean, the guys did a good job, worked on it all day. I stalled it on pit road there and couldn't get it started. I'm not sure why. I've never had that happen before, but, you know, I didn't have it flooded, which, you know, normally that's what you do. It was too lean and couldn't get it restarted, but overall good day. Just wish I wasn't, you know, would have been a little closer on the chassis setup, run with the top 3 guys, but we're happy with 4th.
What were you thinking happened? I mean, did you know that it was something you had done, or were you thinking maybe you broke an axle or gear or something like that?
Oh, no, I couldn't get it started. You know, so it stalled there, and 26 car blocked us in. Probably didn't mean to, but this pit road's tight, and I jumped the clutch, tried to get around him, couldn't do it. So it was pretty tough.
But the bigger picture is 35 up and to now 127 up in the points chase, Alan.
Yep, big day in the championship today. This will be a headline moment when they decide the titleist later on in the season. A little controversial penalty, or at least in the mind of the crew chief. Little post-race fireworks from that. When it was all said and done, though, Jeff Burton had the dominant car, ran away from the field at the finish, and picked up his 4th victory of 2002. Tomorrow, NBC, 12:30 Eastern Time. Join us for more NASCAR.